In the heart of New York City, billionaire Alexander Carter sat in his lavish office, a fortress of wealth and power. At 45, he had built an empire, but recent events had left him disillusioned. After discovering that his trusted partner had embezzled $3 million, he found himself questioning the integrity of those around him. To test the honesty of his employees, he devised a plan that would soon change his life forever. That evening, as the sun dipped below the skyline, Alexander pretended to be asleep in his leather armchair. The office door creaked open, and in walked Maria, a hard-working cleaning lady, holding the hand of her 6-year-old daughter, Lily. They had been coming to clean his office for 2 years, and Alexander had always admired Maria's dedication. Lily, wearing her pink gloves, was excited to help her mother during the school holidays as Maria began her routine. Lily's curious eyes fell upon the open safe, revealing stacks of cash that represented more wealth than she could fathom. Alexander held his breath, waiting for the inevitable disappointment. But what happened next left him utterly speechless. Reaching for money, Lily began to organize the disheveled bills, separating them by denomination and stacking them with the precision of a little accountant. "Mommy," she whispered, "Mr. Alexander's money was all messy. I tidied it up just like you taught me to do with our coins at home." Maria turned, startled. "Lily, you can't touch the boss's things." But Lily insisted, "It was messy, Mom. He'll be happy when he wakes up and sees everything tidy." In that moment, Alexander felt a surge of emotion he hadn't experienced in years. This innocent child, who had likely never held more than $20, had chosen to organize a fortune instead of taking a single penny. Her honesty struck a chord deep within him, igniting a flicker of hope in his heart. Over the following weeks, Alexander discreetly observed Maria and Lily. He learned that Maria worked double shifts, cleaning at his company at night and at a doctor's office during the day. Lily accompanied her, doing homework or playing quietly while her mother worked. Alexander was particularly moved by Maria's teachings to her daughter. "We always return what isn't ours, even if no one is watching. Our honesty is worth more than any money in the world." Maria's resilience inspired Alexander to secretly increase her salary, justifying it as a category adjustment. However, his good deed did not go unnoticed. Richard Blackwood, the vice president of operations, a man accustomed to privilege, questioned the financial decision during a meeting. "Why are we wasting money on cleaning staff, especially on her?" he scoffed. "People like her always want more." Alexander felt a surge of anger, but maintained his composure. Richard's prejudiced views had long been tolerated due to his family's influence in the company. That evening, Alexander witnessed Richard confront Maria in the hallway, threatening her over her salary in the presence of her daughter in the office. "Your job is to clean and be invisible," he sneered. Watching from his office, Alexander felt a purifying rage. Richard had crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. That night, he made a decision. It was time to act. He had recorded the entire conversation, and he would use it to protect Maria and Lily. The next morning, Alexander called Marcus Chun, a former FBI investigator. "I need your help," he said. "There's a case of institutional racism and abuse of power at my company." Marcus chuckled. "That'll be easier than stealing candy from a baby. Guys like him always leave clues." As Richard intensified his campaign against Maria, fabricating violations and pressuring HR, Alexander watched closely. He documented every lie and abuse of power, knowing that Richard's arrogance would be his downfall. When Richard attempted to plant evidence against Maria, Alexander was ready. On the night of the stage theft, Alexander had set up hidden cameras. As Richard planted a $15,000 Rolex in Maria's cleaning cart, Alexander watched with cold satisfaction. When Richard confronted Maria, claiming to have caught her red-handed, Alexander stepped in, revealing the truth. "Richard," he said calmly, "I think you should hang up that phone." He presented the evidence, showing Richard's own face on camera as he planted the watch. The room fell silent as the weight of the moment sank in. With the press and security present, Richard's facade crumbled. Alexander revealed the extensive documentation of Richard's racist behavior and conspiracies against Maria. The police arrived, arresting Richard for conspiracy and racial discrimination. As he was led away in handcuffs, Alexander felt a sense of justice wash over him. Months later, Maria was promoted to Director of Human Resources, a position created just for her. She implemented a scholarship program for employees' children, with Lily as the first beneficiary. Alexander watched as Lily flourished, her dreams of becoming a lawyer taking shape. Meanwhile, Richard's life had spiraled into chaos. After serving time for his crimes, he found himself alone, his reputation destroyed. No company would hire him, and his family had abandoned him. He became a cautionary tale of what happens when one underestimates the power of integrity. At an ATA charity event, Alexander spoke about the lessons he had learned. The honesty of a 6-year-old taught me that the best response to hatred is love and action, he said. We turned a moment of injustice into a legacy of hope. As Lily celebrated her 10th birthday, Alexander announced the creation of the Lily Carter Educational Fund, ensuring that future generations would have opportunities to succeed. Maria smiled, knowing that their lives had transformed in ways they had never imagined. In the end, Alexander realized that true revenge was not about destroying Richard, but about building something greater. He had turned his company into a beacon of hope, proving that kindness, when protected by strength, can create legacies that inspire generations. As the years passed, Alexander continued to support Maria and Lily, ensuring they had everything they needed to thrive. He became a mentor to Lily, guiding her through her education and encouraging her dreams of becoming a lawyer. Maria, now a respected leader in the company, implemented policies that promoted diversity and inclusion, ensuring that no one would face the same discrimination Richard had inflicted. One day, during a company meeting, Alexander announced a new initiative, the Integrity in Action program, aimed at fostering honesty and ethical behavior among employees. We must learn from the past, he said, and create a workplace where everyone feels valued and respected. The program was a resounding success, and soon other companies began to take notice. Alexander was invited to speak at conferences, sharing his story and advocating for change in corporate culture. He became a voice for the voiceless, using his platform to highlight the importance of integrity and compassion in business. Meanwhile, Richard struggled to rebuild his life. He found himself working odd jobs, barely making ends meet. His past continued to haunt him, as news articles about his downfall circulated online. He watched from the sidelines as Alexander's company flourished, feeling the weight of his own choices pressing down on him. On the day of Lily's high school graduation, Alexander stood proudly beside Maria, both of them beaming with joy. Lily had worked hard, earning scholarships and accolades for her academic achievements. As she walked across the stage to receive her diploma, Alexander felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. He had not only changed the lives of Maria and Lily, but had also transformed his own perspective on life and leadership. After the ceremony, Lily approached Alexander with a bright smile. Mr. Alexander, thank you for believing in us and for everything you've done, she said, her eyes shining with gratitude. I want to help others just like you helped us. Alexander knelt down to her level, his heart swelling with pride. You already are, Lily. Your kindness and determination will inspire many. Just remember, integrity is the foundation of true success. As they embraced, Alexander knew that the legacy of integrity and compassion would continue to thrive through Lily and Maria. They had turned a moment of injustice into a powerful movement for change, proving that even in the darkest times, the light of honesty and kindness could shine through. Years later, as Alexander looked back on his journey, he realized that the true measure of success was not just in wealth or power, but in the impact one had on the lives of others. He had learned that integrity, when nurtured and protected, could create a ripple effect that changed the world for the better. And so, the story of Alexander, Maria, and Lily became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of integrity, and a reminder that sometimes the greatest lessons come from the most unexpected places.